scenario. I want to write this tune for Steve Swallow. All right, this is not for this band. It's for a particular thing. Then I had to go in and figure what I'm going to blow on. So now I had to figure out changes. And when I went back to it, the bass line wasn't, of course, always the root that it really should have been. And then sometimes what the root suggested really wasn't a good change, so I just said, you know what, the hell with it. I'm not going to do it. I'll put another change in. Why does it have to be the same as the melody? Melody chorus is melody chorus, especially if it's a saxophone and bass without a chordal accompaniment. If you were playing, I'd have to take care of that. But just with the bass and saxophone and drums, I could have the chords be completely, have nothing to do with it. They don't necessarily have to be tied to the melody, like we usually are when we write chords. So, for me, to answer your question, for a composition, I usually, unless, I'm blissed out, and just like, in there, which does not happen that much anymore. I sit down with an actual idea. The idea is either particular musicians or roles, if not Swallow, then electric bass, because that is definitely different than this, because of the play on. And maybe a idea of a type of tune, or a color, or a feeling, or something that's programmatic. For me, that works very well. You say red, I'm cool, etc. But pretty specific idea to start with. And then the first thing that goes on the page, first thing, I take that as coming from the force. Without getting heavy, it means that if that was enough to land on the page with the forethought that I came in with, I trust that that was there based on whatever happened. And now I use compositional process, and that's you're supposed to learn. And how you do composition is everything. Theme variation, turning shit around, all the stuff we learned, that's what we learn composition for. So as soon as I have a couple of things on paper, I'm pretty good at writing a tune. That is a matter of doing. Now editing it means it stays on the piano, and if I have 10 minutes in between taking somebody to answer the phone, I'll go there and it'll get improved and get refined over a couple of weeks, if I have that chance. So, but I trust the initial impulse. I really do trust that. I think that there's a reason for that first thing to get on page, more or less. And hopefully it's something that's cogent and meaningful and gives you enough to work on. If it's not, then you're probably going to rip it up. But I never rip up anything. I put it in the thing,